So in the greenhouse, trying to show off a little farm hack that we're doing this year. It's the evolution of kind of a system that we've done before. You know, we have it's not a really big greenhouse, but it's, you know, fairly sizable for our needs. Fits everything that we need. But in the early seeding season, it's really cold. You know, there's frost on the roof right now. We're supposed to be seeding this week. So instead of heating the whole thing, we build a little tiny micro greenhouse with our leftover greenhouse plastic. We're gonna drape it over both sides and just kind of tape up the sides where I'm not going to enter, smush the tables together, and heat it with actually a little tiny space heater or a kind of a propane tank with two heat lamps on it. It should keep it pretty warm. Big thing is just like, we don't have double insulated greenhouse. I have a big heater. I like this door, not for the winter, but for the summer, because a lot of airflow comes through here. So it's kind of like pointless to try to heat it, the whole thing. This really isn't that hard to set up. I mean, not expensive. We already had the PVC pipe. You can see they're all like muddy and just been laying around. We just used some electrical pipe conduit clamps, actually leftover greenhouse clamps too, and built this little thing in like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. And we will drape the plastic over it and kind of show you what we're thinking.
We have the first walls up on our germination chamber, and we need to put the next walls over the sides. Now come along this way for a second. One of the things we need to figure out is how to lift this whole piece up so that it stays up. It's probably okay to keep it low because the heat will stay lower, but just for us walking through, so we have an option. So I was thinking we could put bricks on the base to keep this at the height that we want it to. I think that'll work okay. Okay, so we have our greenhouse plastic all ready to go over the other side. I think before we do that, we should put the bricks along the bottom of the pieces that are up there already to keep that roof a little higher, since it's going to be heavier with two pieces of plastic on top. So let's get started over on that side, get the edges set up with the bricks, and then put the new plastic over the top.
Sounds good.
So bricks have been laid now on the opposite side of our chamber here, and we're going to start moving the upper side of the chamber, well, moving these rods a little bit closer together because the width is just too wide right now. We want it to fit about the length of one of our tables. So we're going to shorten the length of our rods to get that sizing a little tighter. It's a small greenhouse for the amount that we grow, so at some point we'll probably need to expand, but for now we're working with what we have. Okay, David is going to loosen that top top nut up there. And oh, it looks like he didn't even have to pull out the tools. That worked.
No, I did already.
Oh, he already did. Okay. He loosened it a bit. We can do the other side now.
Oh, this one's loose.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
So now we're gonna have to go on. I guess maybe I can. Oh, they're all loose.
Oh, great.
That one over there is loose too.
Thanks,
This one
Opa.
was tight.
All right, I can get on the other side and
I mean,
do that too.
well, it needs to get loosened more, I think.
Okay. So we moved the bars a little bit closer together. You can see there's a lot more right there. And now we're working on adjusting the plastic to get it to the right size. Here we go. Ta-da! That's looking way better. Say it's the height where we can walk in there. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna do the other walls now.
Okay, so it looks like we barely made it with our little piece of plastic that we had left over. We'll take a walk inside, show you what we mean. So like having an entry kind of like this. Now we're inside of our mini greenhouse, Greenception. So now I can easily walk around and move plants and heat just this smaller space. We obviously have to tape up like, you know, the corners and stuff and make them overlap, but this is what we're aiming for. It's similar to what we did last year, but man, this is going to be much easier to manage and have, you know, not have to stack tables and do all that stuff until we get our heater going. You know, short project, but pretty awesome how it's turning out so far. So we'll pause here and tie up all the loose ends. Okay, you can see it's under 50 outside, or like in the normal greenhouse. I just kind of finished closing it up, like putting the bricks down and, you know, sealing up any loose. I stuck my hand in there and it was pretty warm. You can see it's approaching 60, so there's already quite a difference. Looks like 10 degrees or so inside to outside, and it's only been on for a couple minutes, so that's a good sign. That's kind of what we want, even if it can maintain that temperature in there. But we'll see how it goes. I'll do the final test tomorrow morning. Okay, here's the check. Ooh, actually says 20. It's pretty frosty. Looks like 40. That's not terrible. 20-degree difference. You can see there's it needs to get sealed better. But not bad. Keep it above freezing. Yeah, this needs some more work, but not terrible for really cheap. Okay, well, we'll think about some small updates to do. Like, obviously I could seal this whole thing, and I think I need to pull this side over more, because there's more slack on the other side, like a lot more. So I'll keep working on it just little by little. Luckily it's March, and hopefully it's not going to be super cold the whole month. So all right, some updates on the germ chamber. I shortened it quite a bit just because we don't have that much in there right now. It's going to start filling up this week, but just to heat a smaller space, it's much easier. 40 degrees, 60-ish. I just opened it, so let out some warm air. But we also lost power last night, which is great. First time that's happened during this part of the year, which has been good, I guess. Thankful it hasn't happened more, but apparently we lost power like 9:30 and I was already asleep. I woke up at like 11:30, got the whole generator and everything running, brought some of these trays inside because we are kind of on our way with this tray. I think there's some other ones that were popping up a little bit. Yeah, maybe it was in here. But we are, oh yeah, there's some coming up in here too. So these weren't germinated, but I didn't take them in. They were seeded after, kind of like a week after, so they should have a few more days. But they look like they're coming up quick. It was warm the other day when I was in here, so I'll probably benefit from that. I just didn't want to get like, it wasn't gonna be, it was right at freezing, and I don't know, I didn't want to ruin our recently germinated scallions, so I brought them inside after I got the generator going, and the power came back on right after I got the generator going. So it's a good thing, and also kind of funny how it works. But just a little update this morning. We'll check it again later. I'm gonna leave the heater going for a little bit just to keep it boosted. It's supposed to get above 40 today, so turn it off when I come back out.